In the glamorous, yet often shadowed world of the British royal family, much remains hidden from the public eye. Behind the ornate walls of Buckingham Palace and the carefully curated appearances lies a world filled with secrets, intrigues, and power plays, some of which even the most devoted royal observers can only speculate about. One of the most talked about dynamics in this intricate web is the relationship between Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Queen Camilla Parker Bowles. The media and tabloids have long painted their relationship with shades of tension, competitiveness, and rivalry, often playing up the idea of two strong women vying for their place in the royal family. However, the reality is far more nuanced and complex. After marrying Prince William in 2011, Princess Catherine officially entered the royal family, stepping into a spotlight that would be both a blessing and a burden. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla, who had spent years as a somewhat controversial figure due to her relationship with King Charles before their marriage, had only recently begun to rehabilitate her image in the eyes of the British public. For many years, their roles within the royal family were starkly different. Camilla, as the more senior of the two, took on traditional royal duties alongside her husband, King Charles. Meanwhile, Princess Catherine, although beloved by the public, was slowly introduced into the royal life. The differences in their ranks were evident, but over time, they began to navigate these differences in a way that would shape not only their personal relationship but also their respective roles within the monarchy. But how did Camilla really feel about Catherine, the wife of her stepson, and the woman who was increasingly seen as the future queen consort? Were the two women simply working side by side in the interests of the monarchy, or was there something deeper, more complex at play? The truth, as we've learned, is that their dynamic is one of mutual respect but also subtle shifts in power that many have yet to fully understand. One such moment, which occurred during the Solemn Remembrance Sunday service of 2024, subtly highlighted the unspoken hierarchies and roles within the royal family. As the two women stood side by side on the balcony of the Foreign Office building in Whitehall, overlooking the cenotaph, they were dressed in dignified black coats and elegant pearl accessories, facing the cold November wind with poise. Observant royal watchers couldn't help but notice a small, almost imperceptible gesture between the Princess of Wales and the Queen Consort, a quiet exchange that spoke volumes about the complex relationship between the two women. Body language expert Judy James analyzed the interaction and observed that, despite the clear hierarchical difference between them, the two women appeared to function as equals during much of the ceremony. Positioned at opposite ends of the balcony, they held themselves with grace and unity, maintaining their composure in a moment that was both public and deeply personal. However, towards the end of the ceremony, something small yet significant happened. As the national service drew to a close, Catherine made a subtle motion toward Camilla, a slight tilt of her head as if signaling, "After you." This understated action, interpreted by James as a cue rooted in royal tradition and etiquette, showed Catherine's deep understanding of courtly behavior. It was a quiet acknowledgement of her place in the royal family, but also a sign of her growing authority. The gesture wasn't one of subservience or competition but a recognition of the traditional structure they both operated within. Queen Camilla, understanding the unspoken rule, responded with a warm smile, and the two women entered the building together, their dignified presence reinforcing the royal unity that many believe is key to the monarchy's future. Since the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the monarchy has entered a new phase, one of transition and subtle recalibration of power. Both King Charles and Kate Middleton have faced personal health struggles, with Catherine undergoing preventative chemotherapy after abdominal surgery earlier in the year. This health journey, though deeply private, has had an impact on the way Catherine is seen within the royal family. Far from simply being a dutiful wife and mother, her open admission of her illness has earned her a great deal of empathy from the public and even from within the family. In this time of healing and recovery, sources close to the royal family have suggested that Camilla has quietly taken on a supportive role toward Catherine. While royal life has often been marked by restraint and emotional distance, Camilla's low-key empathy has resonated with Catherine, who, despite her poised exterior, has been through an unimaginable amount in the public eye. This quiet support between the two women is indicative of a growing bond, built on mutual respect and shared understanding of the royal duties they both carry. In many ways, Catherine's rise has been shaped by the presence of both her husband, Prince William, and Camilla. But where Camilla had to endure decades of public scrutiny and a late entrance into royal life, Catherine's journey has been carefully guided. She was molded for this role, seen by many as the perfect future queen consort, gracious, poised, and committed to the monarchy's values. But her relationship with Camilla has not been without complexity. Though it may seem like the ideal fairy tale, there are nuances within their relationship that point to a quiet power struggle at times, one that isn't as visible to the public but is palpable within the royal household. As King Charles's health remains a concern, his role as monarch has been subject to change. Camilla, ever aware of the monarchy's fragility, has been quietly managing the delicate balance between keeping the monarchy stable and ensuring that her role remains strong. As William steps into more responsibilities as the de facto heir, he finds himself navigating these relationships, including with Camilla. He has publicly acknowledged the difficulty of balancing family obligations with his royal duties, but behind the scenes, he is preparing himself to one day take the throne, with Camilla's influence looming large. Her quiet strength and assertive management of royal duties have sometimes clashed with William's more public-facing approach, but it's clear that the two must find a way to work together if the monarchy is to move forward smoothly. But what happens when the true nature of their relationship comes to light? How will their rivalry, if you can call it that, play out as the British monarchy shifts into the hands of a new generation? And how does this subtle interplay between the women affect the future of the monarchy, especially as King Charles's health becomes more precarious with each passing day? The whispers from behind palace walls speak of mounting tensions, yet there is a shared sense of purpose. Both Catherine and Camilla are keenly aware of the responsibility they carry, not only to the monarchy but to each other as women navigating one of the most challenging and scrutinized institutions in the world. The quiet battles that are waged in the halls of Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace may not always make it to the front pages of the tabloids, but they are critical in shaping the future of the royal family. As the monarchy navigates this delicate period, it is clear that change is inevitable. What remains to be seen is whether these women, each powerful in their own right, can navigate the challenges they face, together or apart, as they continue to influence the course of royal history. The story of Princess Catherine and Queen Camilla is one of complexity, of tradition and modernity clashing, of personal ambition and public duty. Their relationship, at once fraught with tension and filled with respect, is a microcosm of the challenges facing the British royal family today. Their journey together, or perhaps separately, will shape the monarchy's future for generations to come. Stay tuned as this fascinating saga unfolds, and don't forget to share your thoughts with us. How do you think the relationship between Princess Catherine and Camilla will evolve? Will they manage to reconcile their differences, or will the divide grow deeper? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe for more exclusive royal insights.